Among this group, a faculty committee met to select one of them to deliver a speech this evening. This young lady wowed our panel with her energy, her strong message, and her infectious smile. Please welcome Kendra Saathoff, our 4.0 speaker.
When J.K. Rowling sat down to write the first Harry Potter novel, she had the whole story mapped in her head. All 7 books, the entire series, formed in her mind on a train back to London. Now I know some of you may have your life and your own series laid out in front of you, just waiting for your pen to hit paper and make it reality. And some of you may have less of a solid idea of what your tale will hold. But whether we realize it or not, we've been writing all along. These past 4 years have been like writing the first book of a series, whether it be a comedy, tragedy, or mystery. Some stories were clear from the first day you walked into the arcade of the old building. Students piled in with a vision in their head of exactly how the next 4 years would go. Even if you didn't have every word written or each class scheduled, you probably planned for it to be a happy, successful tale. But let's be honest, our stories never went as planned. And I doubt J.K. Rowling's first draft of Harry Potter was completely perfect, or her second, or her third. But her final draft, a culmination of all of her efforts, was a great tale. Our time at Bellevue High does make for some pretty good stories, whether they went along with our original outline or not. Not only that, but our stories were individual. Nowhere, here at Bellevue or anywhere in this entire world, did someone write the same story as you. What you wrote here, what you did here over these past 4 years is completely and entirely your own. Not only did you take the time to write it, you took the time to live it. When we're living our stories, adding to them daily, we don't realize the effects they have on the world around us. And that's the thing I think we all have in common with J.K. Rowling. When we're writing, we don't know the impact our stories will have. We don't know who will appear in it, or who will read it, or what they will think. Rowling's story touched millions of lives, but sitting on that train, there was no way she could foresee the effect her tale would have on the lives of others, just as we now cannot know how our stories will influence the world. The only thing you do know is that you will keep writing and creating a story that's your own. Whether it impacts millions or just a few, whether people like it or criticize it, just keep writing. We started writing this book when we may not have known where it was going to take us. And here we are, up until this point with our stories interconnected for the past 4 years or more. We will move on, each still scribing our adventures and trials, as some from this class stay with us and some characters fade away. But we'll always have these chapters to look back on and future chapters to plan. You will keep writing your story, today and the day after and the day after that and for the rest of your life. It's never going to slow down or pause because life doesn't. Your drafts may not be perfect, your writing may not be entirely liked by other people, but you will keep working on it. You will keep living, with each experience adding a new chapter to your story. And every once in a while, you will be able to look back on the memories and realize that this work you've been creating your whole life is a pretty good one. And hopefully you'll be happy with your series. But right now, we're still working on our first book. We're still experimenting with our writing styles, finding our voices, and outlining for the future. And really, it doesn't matter if we end up on the bestsellers list. What matters is that it's our story, and we share it, and it has an impact on those we share it with. You may not be on a train to London, and you may not have your entire story mapped out, but you do have the power to determine the next addition to your series. It's up to you now to decide what kind of story you want for the years to come. You've got so many chapters ahead of you, so keep writing.